Welcome back to the Untold Story podcast. Today we have Gold Omotayo, a professional footballer currently playing at Kingsland Town Football Club, which is where we're filming the podcast today. It's a pleasure to have you on, Gold.
Bro, thanks for having me.
So you literally just played a game, 3 points, 3-2 win, and you got 2 goals for yourself. How was that game today?
Yeah, it was obviously a hard game. Um, we came off 3 wins, I think. So we wanted to keep the momentum going, and yeah, like we conceded an early goal, but then we managed to flip the switch and score 2 goals before half time, which obviously changed the game massively. And no, I mean, obviously, all in all, 3 points, that's what counts. But yeah, on a personal note, like you said, got a brace today. But yeah, obviously it's a team game in it. Like if I'm out there by myself, I'm not going to score. So need to give my teammates credit as well. But yeah, I'm very happy all in all.
100%, that's perfect. And your team is currently first place in the league, trying to get promoted. How's that looking? How's the camp? How's the team's mood? How's everything going?
Well, the mood is very, very good. Obviously, like I said before, we have been our form has been very good. So we just try to focus on what we can do. That's all was so all you can do. Like focus on the games ahead, focus on what is in your hands. So no, the mood is good. Our togetherness is very good as a team, and yeah, no, I mean we just got to take game by game. So it's two more games left, and who knows what's going to happen at the end of the season. You know how football is crazy sometimes.
Yeah, anything can happen. And
Exactly.
it's 24 goals this season.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of goals for yourself and your striker. How does scoring goals contributing to the team every week? Does that give you that extra motivation, the pleasure to play football, make you happy being on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. Look, you're a striker. If you're a striker, I mean, I'm speaking for all the strikers out there. If you're a striker, you want to score goals. Um, it's the best feeling out there. And obviously, yeah, if you score goals, it gives you confidence, and then it just goes from there. Like if you're confident, you take shots that you maybe normally wouldn't take, and then sometimes you get into this groove that everything is going in. And yeah, I mean, I'm very happy here at the moment, but yeah, we just gotta keep going.
That's good to hear. And just want to rewind and start by asking, where did your career start?
Well, I always played football my whole life. Like as far as I can remember, I was out playing by myself, just me and the football. I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of footballers here. It's just you and the football, and then that's all you want. That's all you care about, and that makes you happy. So I started obviously playing as a young boy. I think I started when I was like 6 years old, and then you get into I got into the academy at FC Zurich, and I started as a player. I think, yeah, started as a player. Then I switched to goalkeeper. I think I was like 10 years, from 10 until like 13, 14, I was goalkeeper. Then obviously I left FC Zurich Academy, and I just wanted to enjoy football again. And I remember this coach there that took me to this other team. He was like, I want you as a player. And then I switched again. And then obviously I stayed player. Things went from there. And yeah, that's where my career started really. And then I had a break from football. I don't know how long. And then when I started back, I went into it's probably like it's called like non-league, I'd say non-league in Switzerland. Played there for like half a year, and then yeah, got the chance to come over to England and into the Conference South at Whitehawk, and that was funny. That move came about because a good friend of mine, well, my best friend, he's a goalkeeper at QPR, so he was on loan to that club, and at that time the club was bottom of the Conference South, and they obviously needed goals. He said to the manager, "Look, I've got someone in Switzerland who's committed to come over." And then I came over, one training session, a good session. Uh, then I signed a non-contract, like a non-contract contract. Scored on my debut, and then on the second game I scored a brace, and then they gave me a deal until the end of the season. And then yeah, I ended up playing 16 games, scoring 11, and obviously as a free agent at the end, I was free. Then I went to Bury, obviously straight into the league, massive club, got relegated. They just got relegated from League One, and they wanted to push for promotion again. And that's when I obviously signed my first pro deal.
Perfect. And for Bury, for the people that's watching that don't know, Bury, they in that season when you signed for them, you got promoted, and then the club kind of just shut down due to some financial problems. Do you want to talk about, like, give some information on why or what happened?
So, as far as I know, like there was a lot of things going on with the chairman. They changed the chairman, and at the time we maybe thought that it was a good thing. Looking back, I'm not sure if it was. I don't know the whole story in it. Like as a player, you hear rumors here and there, but yeah, I feel like the wage structure there was very like it wasn't like a lot of the players that were there, obviously without naming names, but they earned a lot of money, and yeah, I mean maybe that had something to do with the boss, with going bust as well. But we knew about that it's probably gonna be like they're probably gonna go bust, and then we had the chance, or we sat together the players, and it was either stop playing or finish the season, get promoted, get the medal, and that will put us all in a better position. So we all were on the same page, and we all wanted to finish the season without knowing what's going to happen next season. Obviously, we done that, got promoted, and then yeah, obviously, yeah, the club got bust. But yeah, obviously, all in all, I would not change something that season, because that season was very good players around me. I learned a lot. Obviously, being in a winning dressing room with a lot of experienced players. Obviously, Nicky Maynard, Jermaine Beckford. These are the names that you know. So yeah, I learned a lot, and yeah, it was very good to get the first pro season and obviously get the first promotion straight to League One.
How is it as a player going from non-league at Whitehawk for a team that was struggling straight into a team in the Football League with Bury and getting promoted? That seems like a massive jump. Was it a good experience?
I got a funny story here. Like when I obviously saw that they got relegated from League One and they're now in League Two, and a lot of players stayed there. So I knew when I went there, I was like, okay, they're going to be good in it. Like they're going to be good. And I remember, I think it was my first or second session, and the manager was Ryan Lowe. He's now obviously the Preston North End manager, doing very well. I think we done a possession game, and when I saw like he punched a pass in, and when I saw the difference of like the Conference South of that possession, then and it literally just took me like 10 seconds to see, and I was like, wow, like it was a massive jump. But like I said, I mean, that's where you learn. Well, I was like a sponge there. I was 20, 24. I was there, and I was like a sponge. Like I wanted to improve. Obviously, still I want to improve. I know I can improve, but back then I know that was my first season in the league, and I was like, wow, like these players are good. So at one point I was like, you know what? Even if he comes up to me and says, you know what, you're not ready for this, I would put my hand up. But obviously he believed in me, he signed me, gave me my first pro deal. Obviously I'm grateful for this. And yeah, I mean, you learn. Like first session was hard, but then you get better and better and better, and then next thing you know, you're capable of playing there, and then yeah, things go from there. And I feel like that's where you improve as a player.
Yeah, excellent. How important do you think it is for a manager to put their faith into a player?
Very important. If you have a manager that trusts you, he'll keep playing you, even like for example as a striker, he'll keep playing you even when you haven't scored a few goals, when you haven't scored for a long time. That happened to me here. Like I had a manager before the old manager here. He obviously signed me. Well, he was in the process of signing me. Well, he was big for me. He kept playing me, and obviously I needed time to adapt and everything. And then when he left and the new manager came in, the now Aldershot manager, I haven't been scoring goals. I think I scored one goal, and it would have been so easy for him to say, "No, our number 9 is not good enough. Let's just let him go. Let's just whatever." but he kept trusting me. He kept trusting me. He kept playing me, and then obviously things went from there. You get one, you get confidence, and then just good things happen. And then obviously I played a lot of good football under him. Um, and then if it's massive, but obviously it's just one side. You have to be able to, or you have to be willing to improve. You have to be willing to show him that you want to get better, and you have to be willing to show him that you're not uh, okay with underperforming. But it's obviously two sides, and if both sides come together, if you have a manager that trusts you and he sees that you're working hard, good things good things happen from there.
You mentioned it going a period without scoring goals. Especially as a striker, you need to be scoring goals, and there's expectations to score week in, week out. How do you deal mentally, and what do you do in training when you're not scoring goals?
It's not easy. Like, it's not easy. The only thing you have when you're not scoring goals, the only thing you have, or the only thing you should keep on board, is the hard work you put in off the cameras, off the pitch, like on the training pitch. Me personally, I always try to stay out as much as I can. If I had a chance the last game and it didn't go in, I try to replicate that chance and put it in the back of the net. Um, so you just listen. If you work hard, you're always going to get the rewards for it eventually. Maybe not today, not tomorrow, but they will come. And obviously, that's what obviously brought me to this day where I scored. Obviously, now you just said 24 goals, but 1.5 years ago, I had one goal. Like in October 21, had been scored. Had like 15 games, one goal. So it just shows you just have to trust your hard work and stay positive. And then if you work hard, you will eventually get your rewards.
Talking about hard work and staying positive, just going back to the Bury situation.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you players found out that the club may be going bust, and you sat down, talked about it, and you decided to play on and try to get promoted.
Mm-hmm.
When you've, as a player, when you find out that your future is uncertain, things might not go your way, but you sit down and decide to go for a promotion push,
Yeah.
what sort of happening in the training ground? Like, what sort of things are you guys doing? Um, maybe like, is there lack of motivation? Is there lack of discipline, or do you just is there like some togetherness? Do you keep pushing on?
Well, I think it comes down to, like you said, like it comes down to the togetherness you have in a group, and if the individuals in that squad haven't been like proper pros, I think then the outcome maybe would have been different. But we had very good people around us. We had leaders there, which in the end, if you look at it logically, what's going to help us more? Stop playing, throw the medal around, because we were, I think, second or top of the league at that time when we found out. We were in such a good position. So what would have helped us more? Like, stop playing or finish the season and get promoted. I feel like, and then we all were on the same page, thinking, yeah, that would have definitely helped us to get another club or whatever is in the CV. And once you have that promotion, your CV is always going to look good. Obviously, what happened to the club is not nice. But as an individual, as a player, you try to put yourself into the best position, and that's where we all thought that was the best thing to do. So we kept on playing, and obviously, got the rewards.
How is it experiencing the promotion, winning the league, with the celebrating with the fans, and as a player, what's it like?
It's one of the best feelings. I remember that day to this day. Like, this Tranmere away, I think we needed 1 point, and obviously the away end was packed. Like, our fans were there, and everybody knew that we needed 1 point. We went 1-0 down as well, I think, and then I know Danny Mayer, he went through, and I think he dinked the keeper, and 1-1, and then we just kept like hanging on that point, and then we got that point, and then it's just like craziness, like all over the pitch with the fans, and that feeling obviously stays with you for life.
Yeah. So after you've now won the league, got the medals and the trophy, what's like? Is there loads of partying? Is there like, do you get a break, or is it like, what's going on?
Well, I think we had one more game to play,
Yeah.
so obviously all like obviously if we all went, like they all went out, we all went out like celebrating because you just like got promoted to League One, so you have to celebrate. Um, so yeah, it's I think it's kind of obvious. Everyone's very happy. Everyone's out, and then you just celebrate with the players and yeah, the group you've been around all year, and then yeah, it's just an amazing feeling all in all.
So you had the promotion with Bury, and then after leaving Bury, you joined Yeovil Town in the National League. They were just relegated from League 2, and you also had a promotion push there where they went into playoffs. Unfortunately, they didn't get promoted. But what, how was that experience at Yeovil?
Well, I remember, obviously, I had a loan spell while I was at Bury. I had a loan spell to Maidstone, which they were in the National League at that time, and I played 5 games for them and scored on my last game. And then they wanted to extend. That was in November. They wanted to extend it until December, and I didn't want to. I didn't want it. I wanted to go back to Bury. I wanted to go back to the, let's say, like the shiny, like all shiny, nice pitches, nice training ground, league. But looking back, it probably was the wrong decision because I came back to Bury and I didn't really play. I was lucky if I was on the bench, and then even cup games I was on the bench, didn't come on. Obviously, I was very frustrated. Um, so after the season, me personally, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get a League 2 club here. Obviously, that didn't happen, and then I got frustrated. Like I was in Switzerland at that time, um, so it was very uncertain times for me. Uh, and then yeah, the Yeovil move came about because I think the season has already started, and they played like 5 or 6 games. I don't know exactly how many, but and they needed someone like up front that would be like a presence, a physical presence. And yeah, it came about quite quick. I got the call, and then I flew over, went to Yeovil, and then yeah, met the manager, everything, and then yeah, signed for them. And yeah, I mean, obviously played my debut against Notts County. I got an assist for Courtney Duffus. We won that game as well. And then yeah, we went on a crazy run. I don't remember, but we won like. Do you know?
Yeah, well, I don't remember how many games, but it was like at least 10
It was in
games
10,
win,
innit?
wasn't it?
We
Yeah.
won 10 games on the bounce, and
Yeah.
I feel like that was like the club hasn't won 10 games on the bounce since like 2013 or something
Yeah.
crazy. And the group we had there, obviously, Duffus, me, Murphy,
Yeah, just
up
Murphy.
front,
Yeah.
good, like they're good players. Then Miles Hippolyte is now at Stockport playing in the league, doing his thing. Obviously, Worthy is still there, energetic midfielder.
Yeah.
Then we had a good centre back with obviously Colo and Wilco, and then Romeo Houghton. He's now
Yeah.
at Swindon in the league. And then who was left back?
It was it
Carl
Carl Dickinson,
Dickinson,
and
yeah.
then
Who is
Kelly
very, very,
Kells joined after Michael
yeah,
Kelly.
obviously very experienced centre back as well.
Yeah.
Now we had a good team spirit as well, good togetherness, and
Yeah.
obviously that took us very far. Yeah, obviously that was very good, but yeah, after, for me personally, I had my first big injury. Um, yeah, obviously part of the game, and then COVID hit, and then when I came back from injury, I went home because there was no games, and then we were fourth in the league or something, and then yeah, we went to playoffs, and then we played Barnet at home with no fans, and yeah, I wasn't in the squad, so yeah, it just shows you can go have the best of highs, highest of highs, 10 games on the bounce, win, and then not injured, not playing, and then biggest game of their season in the stands. Very hard, but yeah, just shows that you just have to keep going and trust your hard work.
Although the team didn't get promoted that season, it was still relatively a successful season as you achieved
Very.
playoffs. What do you think is the difference between maybe an average team, mid-table, or relegation team, and the difference between a playoff promotion team?
I feel like obviously it comes down to the look. Football is a game of small margins. Like you can lose a game with like a tiny little mistake. So it all comes down to the quality of players. I think quality of players and then the togetherness you have off the pitch is massive, because you can have the best. I think you can have the best players, but if they don't get along off the pitch, they will lose against a team that maybe have not as good players, but would would run through a brick wall for each other, like off the pitch. So yeah, it just shows that you have to have both. You have to have good players, but the off the pitch has to be the togetherness has to be there.
And you mentioned all these good players that you played with, and then the manager was Darren Sarrell and Terry Skiverton.
Mm.
Do you learn from these other players? Do you learn from the managers? Like, what sort of things do you pick up from these guys?
Yeah, obviously. I know Skivo was the assistant manager when I was at Bury, and on the first game of the season, obviously we played Yeovil, and then I came on and scored the winner. So Skivo was there, so he knows he knew what I could bring to the table, what I could do. So he was probably a big part of me signing for Yeovil as well, because I feel like the manager at that time, Darren Sarl, didn't really know me. Well, he probably did his due diligence on me, but so yeah, Skivo was definitely a big part of me signing for Yeovil. And yeah, you try to learn. Obviously, they're both very good coaches, so every training session they try to teach you something, and then yeah, like I said, you have to learn, because if you're not learning, you're standing still, and if you're standing still, then you're not growing.
100%. And we talked about the playoffs, and the team played against Barnet home without fans, and then but you weren't in the squad. How is that as a player? You want to get out there and help, but you're not involved.
It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy, bro. Especially when you think that you could bring something to that team. Like there was a few times where I weren't in the squad at Bury, and I was looking at their players, the players that played in my position. I have to say, look, they're top players. Um, they maybe have something that I haven't had then at that time. Um, but then obviously as well, like there was a few times where you think, I could have helped the team there. And if at the end of the day the manager doesn't think that you can help the team, he's gonna not involve you in the match day squad. Yeah, it's not easy, like I said, but it's never personal. That's what it is. It's never personal. It's not that he doesn't like you as a person. It's that he just thinks that what he got in someone else will help him more during that game, that specific game. So you just got to take it on the chin and move on and take it as a window of opportunity. Because if you haven't played, for example, you didn't play Saturday, Sunday, you can do your own stuff. Like you can do something in the gym, or you can go out running and work on your weaknesses. So next week you may have a better chance to be in the match squad. And it comes down to how you train. If you train very well, if you're the best trainer, it's going to very rarely not put you in the match squad, because it kind of has to. But yeah, like I said, football is a game of opinions. If you have a manager that, in his opinion, you're not better than what he has in someone else, then yeah, is what it is. That's why you just have to go find a manager that really, really likes you and rates you.
100%. And so you've achieved playoff. You've got guaranteed playoffs, and the season's finished.
Yeah.
What's the process leading up to the playoffs? So every club is done, their season's over. What's going on for you guys?
What do you mean, like now with this club or at Yeovil?
At Yeovil.
Well, it was kind of weird that playoffs, because it was after COVID or during COVID. So we all stopped. We didn't know what's going to happen, and then they just continued the games for playoffs, like just the playoffs games when they had. So we had like a kind of mini preseason. I think we went in like 4 weeks before, and then we had hard sessions, and then yeah, like a mini preseason on in getting us ready for that playoff game. I remember it was kind of strange, because we all had to live in the club, so we all had to like our own rooms in the club. Obviously, that's good that the Oval has a good ground. So yeah, it was kind of that obviously brought us very much together. So yeah, no, it was obviously just for that one playoff game, and then yeah, we lost it, and then yeah, you kind of know, okay, now if you have another year on your contract, you know, okay, he's going to tell you pre-season the dates, and if not, then you have to look somewhere else.
And the game was played behind closed doors,
Yeah.
so without fans. How is it as a player like experiencing a game without fans for the first time?
It's weird. It's weird because you could imagine if that game would have been with fans, it would have probably been sold out, or at least like a lot of
Mm.
fans there. So yeah, it was obviously not nice playing with no fans. Um, so yeah, it's kind of weird, but you get used to it. It feels like a training match kind of, because you can hear each other's voices. Uh, yeah, you know it's a proper match, but it's just weird that there's no fans. So yeah, definitely wasn't was feeling a bit weird.
In that season, the overground Hoosh Park, it was pretty much packed all the time. There was quite a lot of fans going there. So, do you think fans like help give you that extra motivation, help get behind you? And do you think that's like the 12th man for the players?
Definitely, like fans can be massive, especially if you're at home. I mean, I know how it is if you play in a stadium away and their fans are behind their team. Like it kind of it helps them. So yeah, definitely fans are a massive advantage if you have positive fans that cheer for you and are patient as well, because you know how fans are like nowadays. Like if you're not scoring in the first 20, they start getting angry. If you don't play the forward pass, they think they know better. But at the end of the day, they can help. They can help very much. Yeah.
As a professional player, what was going on when it was the COVID times? Like, was you doing extra training by yourself, or what was your routine?
Yeah, I try to stay on top of my stuff, because obviously I just came back from injury, so I had my program. I knew what I had to do, and I just tried to stay on top of my fitness. And yeah, everybody was different. I think everybody went for these 5K runs.
Mm.
I'm not really a 5K runner,
Yeah,
so now I just try to stay on top of my things. And yeah, um, I think everybody was just training for themselves, kind of. Yeah.
yeah. So after Yeovil, you had a short period at Halifax Town,
Yeah.
and you want to talk about do you want to talk about that and how it was just a 1 month deal?
Yeah. Obviously, I didn't have a club. I didn't find a club for a long time after Yeovil. Um, and then yeah, Pete Wild, he's now a Barrow manager. So I think he always rated me as a player and the assistant. So they gave me a chance. They gave me a short-term deal. Yeah, 5 games. Obviously, I haven't been playing a lot of games since. So I've played these 5 games. I didn't score, and then me personally, I thought, okay, I'm gonna get back into the rhythm here, and then they didn't. They decided to not extend my deal, which is fair enough. I mean, that's their decision at the time. And then yeah, obviously only 5 games cut short, and then yeah, didn't have a club again. Then after that, um, I went home actually. I think that was the first Christmas where I was able to spend at home. So yeah, obviously you think everything happens for a reason. So first Christmas I was able to spend at home. My birthday I was able to spend at home, was good, because usually I'm playing. And then Gloucester City, they were top of the Conference North at the time. They showed some interest, and then yeah, I went over, and then first I trained with them for like 2 3 days, and then yeah, at the end they managed to give me a deal till the end of this season. We trained, we kept on training, and then we had one league game against Chorley,
And you scored
and I
in that.
scored on that.
Yeah,
On that, we drew 1-1, and I scored.
yeah.
Um, and then next thing you know, they stopped the season, so they just decided to um, continue the season from the National League and above with no fans, but everything under the National League, like National League North and South and below, they decided to stop the season. So I was there with no club again, kind of. So, but I need to give credit to Gloucester, because they have good facilities, and I was able to train there every day. So I was able to use their gym. I was able to use the pitch. More importantly, I had goalkeepers that like they wanted young goalkeepers. They wanted to improve. So I was able to do my finishing sessions. I was able to do my running sessions. Um, Without knowing where I'm going to be next year or whatever. I think it was February or March, something like that. Now that was 2021, and then yeah, like out of nowhere, Wrexham showed some interest. Like a good friend of mine, Keanu Marsh Brown, He signed, like he was in a hotel there. He called me. He was like, he's in a hotel for he's about to sign for Wrexham. And I'm like, what? Like I was there in Gloucester thinking, well, how? And then he said, they need a striker. They need a striker. And then I was like, okay, look, I mean, why not? Like let's see. And then I went on to my agent. My agent called the manager at the time, and then they showed some interest because their striker, Kwame Thomas, which is obviously a similar type of striker to me, big. Um, he was injured at the time, so they needed a kind of replacement. And I think at that time it was 11 games to go, and they were fighting for promotion, not promotion, but fighting for playoffs. Obviously, you see that as a player, and you think, yeah, you want to be part of this. And then, yeah, the Wrexham deal came about. I signed the deal until the end of the season. Obviously, with no fans as well. And then that was quite good. I mean, I scored 3 goals, a couple assists, and 2 of these 3 goals were against Kings Lynn at Wrexham, where I think that was a massive turning point because the chairman obviously was at the game, and I had a good game. Obviously, the ex-manager of Kings Lynn was there. I had a good game. I scored 2, and yeah, obviously was managed to get some interest showing off of Kings Lynn. Yeah, we managed to, well, we just missed out on playoffs with 1 point. That was quite sad, but you just gotta keep going and kick on. And then I went home, went back to Switzerland, and then yeah, quite early I was in talks with Kings Lynn, and then yeah, eventually I think after like a month of negotiating, we agreed to the deal, and then yeah, signed a 2-year contract in June 2021, and then yeah, things went from there.
That's lovely. That's good. Just want to rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, when the Halifax finished, obviously you didn't get an extension on the contract. How do you, as a player, like how do you deal with like setbacks and then like maybe getting released? How do you deal with that?
Well, it's you can, yes, there's two decisions, like 2 options. You either like feel sorry for yourself and obviously point fingers, say, oh, it's because of him, it's because of the manager, it's because of that player, he never passed me the ball, it's because of this, it's because of that, which will not get you anywhere. Or you look at yourself and say, you know what, maybe I wasn't good enough, maybe I should have done more to show them that they have to give me a new deal. I try to do the second. I try to look at myself, and then obviously just try to stay how do you say, hungry, stay hungry, and keep on training, and then obviously, yeah, eventually you will get another chance.
For young players, especially, how important do you think it is to be mentally strong, hungry, determined, and professional in football to become a professional footballer?
Yeah, it's massive. The mental game is more than people think. Obviously, there's a lot of good players out there. Or maybe like half of these good players have it in the head, like they're mentally strong enough to actually make it. So yeah, you have to be mentally very, very resilient and tough enough to take setbacks, injuries, no's from managers. And yeah, people are going to tell you somewhere down the line you're not good enough, and you just got to take it and move on, because as long as you know you're good enough, you're going to make it.
100%. And fast forward to the Gloucester City. Obviously, you played one game and then the season got cancelled. What happens as a player? Like you mentioned briefly that you went to train on their facilities and stuff, but was it guaranteed to cancel for the season, or did you have some hope of returning?
Nah, like it was pretty sure. Like first they said, "Oh, we don't know," but then it was pretty sure, like, "Oh no, it's going to be cancelled." And then obviously, um, yeah, you kind of know. Okay, now you kind of train just for yourself. Like there's no games, so yeah, you kind of knew that they were going to cancel the season.
Was you just trying to prepare for next season, keep yourself ready?
Kind of like I was like, what can I do? Like if I just act like I'm on holiday now, it's not going to get me forward. Like it's not going to get me anywhere. So I was like, because I love training, I love improving, I love I love the grind. So I just kept on training, and then yeah, obviously I was, when the chance come, I was fit, because imagine Wrexham would have came, but I haven't, but I wouldn't have trained. They would have probably said, yeah, maybe you're not good enough. So yeah, it just shows you just gotta stay on your top because you never stay on top of your game because you never know when that chance comes around. You have to be able to take it.
I think that shows me how disciplined, determined of a player you are, since so many months of not playing football and then dealing with contract, like getting released, setbacks, and then you go land a deal at Wrexham, a big Hollywood move, because
Yeah.
there's the Hollywood owners as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously at that time they weren't as involved. Obviously,
Yeah.
they were filming the documentary, so
Mm.
there was cameras everywhere, a lot of interviews and stuff. But they like obviously I've never met them in person because if you look at them now, like they're always there. They
Yeah.
always they're always there with the players, which is obviously brilliant. But no, obviously yeah, they were involved, but they were more in the back. Um, they then after that season when they let the manager go and they bought like a lot of players, that's when they really like showed how much they want to invest in that club.
When you signed for Wrexham, was there like some like new ideas? Was there something strange about the place? Was there new energy about the place?
Yeah, obviously, like I mentioned before, the cameras, like there was cameras everywhere. People, American people, like filming everything, and obviously the whole crew is always around. At the end of and at the end of a game, usually that's just the players and the manager, and then you look around. There's two cameras filming everything. So that was kind of weird, but it was a good buzz around the place, and you can tell it's a massive club, massive club, with huge ambition. And obviously, look at them now; they're doing very well. Um, but yeah, the goal obviously was when I came in was to get playoffs, and obviously we just missed out on that, which is unfortunate. But yeah,
How is it as a player getting involved with a club that's now got Hollywood owners? Um, is there like a buzz about it, or is it kind of a distraction?
no, like it helps. Like it helps because you can see like people are now like the club like before maybe Wrexham obviously is a massive club, but now when people hear Wrexham, they're like, oh, like the owners, the Hollywood owners, because it's
Mm.
everywhere. It's in the papers, it's online. Um, so yeah, it's obviously it creates a nice buzz around the place, and obviously helps you. It's not a distraction at all, I'd say. It helps you. It keeps you motivated, and yeah. So it's very positive.
100%. Let's fast forward to the present day. You're now at Kings Lynn, and that move came about after Wrexham. And you mentioned briefly how you scored the goals against Kings Lynn. How do you think? How important do you think it is? Like that performance against Kings Lynn. Do you think that was the reason why you got this move?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that played a massive part in me getting that move, and it just shows again and again that every game you can never know who's watching, and that could be the reason why like you can get a move of one good game. Like if the right person is watching, and you have a great game, that might be your move. So it just shows that you have to be willing to perform your best every game because you never know who's watching. So yeah, definitely.
You signed for Kings Lynn in the summer, right? And then that season they was in the National League.
Yes.
So how was that season as an overall for you? And then what happened at the end of the season?
Well, overall for me, it was very good because I've played um, over 40 games. I think 38 games in the National League, and then if all the cups that are about, I played over 40 games, and obviously I managed to get double figures as well. I scored 11 and then 10 in the league, which all of that goals came in the second half of the season. They all came from January on. So yeah, obviously for me personally, it was good to get a full season under my belt of playing regular football. Um, but if you look at the whole season, we got relegated from the National League into the National League North. Um, yeah, experiencing relegation is not nice if you obviously losing every week or kind of like fighting not to lose every week. It's not easy, but there's some massive clubs in that league. Um, but yeah, maybe looking back, we yeah we I don't know weren't good enough overall. Um, but yeah, experienced relegation as well as promotion now. So, but obviously I promised myself that I want to help this team get back promoted, and obviously we're in a good way now. So we just got to keep going.
What do you think is the difference between because you've been in both dressing rooms, the main difference between the like maybe in the promotion team and the relegation team?
It's hard to say because our togetherness last year was very good. But what I have to say is there probably was a lot of like new players. There's a lot of new players, good players, like I mentioned before, but just the chemistry wasn't there. Like you just need like these 6 months to get the chemistry. And then if you're not winning games for 6 months, it's going to be hard to fight to get out of the bottom four. I think it is to get relegated in the National League.
Yeah.
So yeah, we obviously caught just fell short. But the majority of the players that were here last season stayed. Well, I'd say like half maybe stayed, and we managed to get some good additions to strengthen us in the right places. And yeah, I mean, it just shows. If you look at the table now, we're doing very well. Yeah, like I said before, it's a game of small margins. We had a lot of games where we maybe should have won, but we drew, and maybe we should have drew, but we lost. And if you calculate all these points together, you probably have like mid-table if you win these games or draw these games instead of losing. So yeah.
When you're fighting to stay up in the league and results aren't going your way, what's sort of happening in training? Is there like is the emotion down or does the manager try new things? What's happening?
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult because if you keep losing, like you lose one game, not much is going to change. You lose two games, yeah, maybe not, but then three, four, five, and then you like the manager's under pressure. His job is on the line. Me as a striker, if you're not scoring goals and you're losing every game, you're going to get fingers pointed at you. So yeah, the pressure is definitely there, definitely for everybody. Um, it's just how you cope with it. Like it's just how what you do with it. Are you going to break under it, or are you going to stay strong and try do your best next game? But yeah, it's definitely not easy.
So you end up getting relegated. What happens at the end of the season? You've been relegated. Like, is there like some uncertainty about your future or the club's situation?
Well, for me personally, it wasn't really uncertainty because I've had another year on my deal. Um, so I knew uh, I have another year of football I can play here at Kings Lynn. Whether obviously if that's in the Conference North, then is way then that's how it is. Um, but yeah, obviously there was a lot of changes. People that were on loan obviously went back. Then people that were out of contract, most of them didn't come back, either due personal reasons or because the manager didn't want them back. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of change, but then you just got to accept it. I mean, it's done. If you dwell on it, it's nothing. Not going to put you back into the National League dwelling on getting relegated. You just have to dust yourself off, get a good preseason on your belt, sign the right players, and then try to kick on.
Obviously, you're here now, still playing for Kings Lynn. Was there any moments maybe where it crossed your mind to try leave and push higher, or were you like straight away, let's fight, let's get back up into the National League?
Well, I mentioned before, you always, as a player, you always want to play as high as you can. Um, there was, there was, to be honest, I didn't really like think about think about it too much because I was like, if someone wants to come in, they have to buy me, and if someone wants to buy me, then they have to put a bid in, and the club has to accept it. And I think the club has made it pretty clear that they're not willing to sell me. So at this time, I was like, well, unless someone's going to pay a massive fee for me, I'm probably not going to leave. So quite early, I was pretty sure that I'm going to stay here.
This season now is obviously I just watched the game today. It was really good, 3-2 win. You're currently first place in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and winning the league is obviously the goal. So how has this season been so far for you? Like, have you enjoyed it? Has the expectations been met? The targets been met?
Well, for me personally, well, not just for me personally, actually, like um, if you would have said to us at the 2 games to go, you sit in top, the second place has one game in hand, but you have I think like what we got 1 more point than them at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you would have said that at the beginning of the season, I think 90% of us would have probably taken that to be in that position now. So it's been a very good season so far. So we just gotta win our 2 games and then see what happens. That's all we can do.
At the start of the season, does the players and the managers like have targets that they set?
Yeah, like obviously in the dressing room, and the stuff we talk about these targets, but it doesn't leave the dressing room, because if you go out and brag at the beginning of the season, yeah, we want to achieve this, it's never going to help. So we just gotta set these targets, keep it in the dressing room, and then try achieve them. So yeah, that's what we did. And obviously everybody knows that this club wants to get back promoted. We stayed full time, not because we wanted to get promoted. We want to get back up straight away, and I feel like that's been shown with the type of players we signed. Like we signed very good players that obviously are managed are very like better players than this level. So yeah, it just shows that the manager wanted us to push for promotion this season, definitely.
We mentioned at the start of the podcast where this season you've scored 24 goals and you're in fantastic form. At the start of the season, as a striker, do you set yourself personal targets and maybe how many goals you want to score?
Well, me personally, yeah, I did, because if you don't set targets, I feel like you're asking for, maybe, like, for example, if you say, oh, let me just score as many as I can, then maybe you score 20. But if you say, I want to score 30, and you score 27, you still scored more. So yeah, I feel personally it's always good to set targets, and yeah, definitely I've done that beginning of the season.
This season's been pretty big at Kings Lynn. You've had a successful FA Cup run, especially Doncaster away, where you scored a last-minute goal
Yeah.
and you won that game. Can you talk to me how that was and how it felt to score the last-minute goal?
Well, first of all, I didn't start the game, so I was on the bench. Very frustrated, because that game hit us in a time where I think I haven't scored. At the time, I didn't score for like 4 games, so it was kind of not easy. But like the manager thought, okay, now I can maybe take him out of the team. And but to be fair, like he always, like, even if I when I was on the bench, he said to me, look, you're a massive part of this, a massive part of what we achieve, and just kept me going. But yeah, I wasn't in the starting 11, and then I just try to think. Obviously, from the sideline, you look at the game and you think, yeah, I want to get on here. Nice stadium. We brought like 600 fans, and then yeah, obviously the boys up front worked their socks off. Like they was pressing everything, and then yeah, finally I came on. Like before I came on, he pulled me to his like him, and he said like, yeah, you're gonna score the winner here for me. And I was like, yeah, I hope so. So, and yeah, then obviously the big throw in, and then I attacked it and put my head on it, and just went in at the far corner. And then yeah, the scenes after. It was a very, very nice moment for me in my career, and it's probably up there with like the best moments I had with the goal against the Oval in my debut in the league. So yeah, these two is probably very nice.
Yeah, I watched the highlights of that game actually this morning to refresh my memory, and I got goosebumps watching it. The crowd, your fans went insane. How does that feel as a player?
Yeah, obviously scoring a goal as a player, I think is one of the best feelings. And then yeah, scoring a goal in a game as important as that, obviously doubles the joy. So now it was very, very nice. And then yeah, we got the win and got through to the second round.
And for the people that don't know, Kingsland Town are National League North, and the Doncaster were League Two.
Yeah.
So you did like a giant killing, beat a team that's above you, and then the next round you got Stevenage at home. How was that? Was it like a full stadium here?
Yeah, it was sold out. I think 4,500 here. Massive game. Obviously, good game for a good. Obviously, brought in good revenue for the club. And yeah, it was a good game. I think we went into half time 0-0, and I even had a chance to score. He just notched, like, it was the ball over the top, backstick, and it just gave me a little notch, put me out of balance, and then I just missed it. Sometimes I think about it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, if I scored that one, that would have been amazing. But I mean, look, you can't score them all. And yeah, we went into half time 0-0, thinking, yeah, look, we can get something here, even if it's just a replay. And then yeah, they just turned it up. Like, they just showed their quality. And then if you allow 3 headers in the box, League Two striker is going to convert it. And then yeah, we conceded like 3 goals in like 12 minutes, and then yeah, the game was kind of done. But all in all, great day for the club, and yeah, a day to remember.
And the great experience as a player, I'm sure. How obviously the FA Cup is massive, and these were massive games. Do you, as a player, do you prepare differently for these type of games?
No, I don't think so. Like, you try not to uh, change what you have been doing. Like, me personally, I always eat the same stuff before a game. I always do kind of the same stuff. So yeah, I can only speak for myself here, but I try not to change up the routine before a game if it's a friendly or if it's a massive game like that was. No, me personally, I just try to stick to the same routine.
And what's the main differences that you notice between non-league and pro?
Um, Definitely the well, the league, well, League Two, I'd say definitely obviously better players, and the ball speed is better. Like, their first touch is better, and the League Two, sorry, National League and below, it's just more physical. I think obviously League Two is still very physical league. Don't get me wrong, but it just you just see these kind of people that are just very good at their physical battles. You see them more in non-league. But yeah, all in all, I'd say the ball speed, first touch, and just all in all the quality in the league. You can see it.
Yeah. Last final questions is mainly about advice.
Yeah,
What advice would you give to your younger self, maybe like 17, 18 years old, trying to become pro? What's the main advice that you'd give?
I would have said to myself, um, playing games is always better. Playing games in a lower league, maybe a league below, is always better than sitting on the bench in a league above and making maybe like 10, 15 appearances a season in the league above. Is yeah, it's not as good as playing 35 plus games in a lower league. So I'd say to my younger self, it doesn't matter if you if what league you're in, especially when you're very young, as long as you play men's football and you play consistent week in, week out, it doesn't matter what league. So I would say go play as many games as you can in men's football, get your experience, get these games under your belt. And second thing is, always trust in your hard work. Like, if you know you've been putting in these hours off the training on the training field, trust that they will pay off, and they will.
I think that's very good advice. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to answer this, and there's not really one definitive answer. But how, in what words, yeah, how do you become pro?
Consistent. If you're consistent in your training, you're consistent in what you put in your body, like eating. It sounds so like generic, but it's so true. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like you said, there's no definite answer. You need some luck as well. Like, you have to look at myself. Like, I went to Whitehawk, I had a good first training session, I had a good first 2 games, and then they gave me a deal. Imagine I had a bad session and a bad game, maybe I wouldn't be here right now. So obviously you need some luck, but that's not in your hands. What is in your hands is how hard are you working? How bad do you want it? Like, do you want it more than a guy next to you? Because there's millions of young players that want to get pro, but the ones that really want it, they will make it.
100%. And uh, I just people that don't know this about you, I researched it. You did mixed martial arts, and you have one professional fight.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, like I mentioned briefly that I had a break when I was like 17. I think, I don't know, 17 until like 18, 19. I had a break, and then I started doing mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then I had it's not a pro fight actually. It's an amateur fight, so you're not allowed to punch on the floor. Then it ended he ended like as a draw, because I think I won the first round and he won the second round, so ended as a draw. I think I got tired toward the second round, so ended as a draw. But pretty quickly the reason why I stopped playing is because I was frustrated at a time, because in football obviously it's a team sport, and if you're on a team where maybe like you think the players are not good enough, automatically you have to take the loss as well. But then I started doing something where I was like, it's just about me. Like, if you do mixed martial arts, you can't blame anyone else. It's just you. So I did this to like find myself again mentally as well. And then obviously eventually you want to get back to what you love. So I started playing again, and I'm here.
100%. That's perfect. Well, it's been a pleasure, bro. Absolute pleasure. For people that don't know, I'm just going to say, me and Gold haven't seen each other in, it's been like 3-4 years now.
Yeah, insert that picture, bro.
Yeah.
Insert that picture. You know which one?
Yeah.
The picture.
Shall I put it in the
Yeah, insert that picture, bro. That was like 4 or 5. That was long ago. Like 4 years ago at least.
Gold was playing for Yeovil Town first team. We just mentioned in the podcast, and I was playing for the academy at the time. But it's crazy. Time flies by, bro.
No, time flies. And like I said, at that time there, obviously I didn't know what you was about and stuff. But then obviously I started following you, and you're doing your thing. Obviously you got unlucky with the injury and stuff. But bro, I've been telling you, just gotta keep going. And if you want it, you can make it, because you're a good player, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for doing the podcast,
No
bro,
problem.
and obviously inviting me to watch the game. The game was quality. I enjoyed watching it.
Nice, bro.
And the win, and I got to see you score.
Yeah,
so it's amazing.
Finally.
I have a gift for you.
You have a gift?
Yeah, of course.
Bro.
Never come empty-handed.
Because I already gave you a shirt, didn't it?
Yeah, so... Oh, that shirt, I should have brought it here, actually.
You should have brought it, bro.
It was lovely. But yeah, here's a gift from me to you, because you're my brother. So, yeah.
Bro, you got my home shirt, didn't it?
Yeah.
You want an away shirt?
The other one?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
I'll give you that one. What is it, medium?
For any size, really.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's pink, but it's actually quite nice. It's nice, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, bro. Let's get a picture of this after.
Yeah, let's do it.
Omotayo, number 9.
Because you got the home one, but you haven't got the away one, innit?
Yeah.
So
well, I appreciate that.
No, it's calm, bro. Thank you for that gift, bro.
Yeah, but let's open it up and just show it to the camera, boys.
Should I open it now?
I want to see you. I want to see you open it now.
I saw, bro.
You're a Saints fan. I remember correctly.
Bro. Oh my god, is that from this season?
Yeah, that's this season one, bro. I literally got it recently.
Oh, Excel as well. Bro, that is hard.
Yeah.
Nah, that is sick. That is so sick. Bro.
I had to get it custom, bro.
You gotta speak it into existence.
Number 9.
Nah,
let's get that like that. Number 9. Bro, it looks good.
Wow, bro. Hey, bro, thank you so much. Honestly, man, I appreciate that so much. My guy. Thank you so much.
Bro,
honestly, I appreciate that
amazing.
so much.
No, I appreciate
I did not expect that, bro. Nah, that is sick.
I thought it'd surprise her, but
hey, bro, that must have been expensive, bro.
Nah, bro, no worries.
Now you got this as well, bro.
I got this as well, so it's
you
all
got
good.
home and away.
Yeah.
Wow, mate, thank you so much, bro.
Bro, let's just wrap the podcast up and we'll chat after.
Yeah, let's do it.
But yeah, cheers for listening. It's going to be out on the Instagram and the YouTube. We're coming out soon. So yeah, take care and we'll see you in the next one.